So, this video is in response to to Saul's last question, which is very interesting. And I guess it's more personal than anything else. The question was, during this time in class, did we have an epiphany, or did we learn something that changed us or changed our point of view of how we see the world, or pretty much in general, if it changed us in any way? Well, Saul, the answer to your question is it did. It did. There's a lot of things that I learned from class that lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, there's a lot of things that I learned in class that well, I kind of had my way of thought was like still the same, but now I just learned that all the other people before me and how they actually put it down on paper and put down their process of thought, or why they believe that and stuff like that. So that's pretty interesting. Another thing that's really interesting was the whole thing on Tole and UG, about how they thought about enlightenment, and Eugene's thing that thought that you pretty much you shouldn't care about pretty much anything. That thought is your enemy. It's pretty crazy, but in a way, I believe that, because we tend to overthink too much, and then we lose focus on what's actually important. And I think that's what he was trying to say. He was trying to let us know that hey, sometimes you overthink things, or you set a goal, but you're too busy trying to chase that goal that you forget about everything else, or you forget about the smaller things in life that are actually worth a lot more than your actual goal. Or he also says that putting a feeling to a thought, I forgot the exact words, but what he says is like putting a feeling to a specific thought is a whole neurological problem that you put to yourself, which I believe is true, because you always try to put a good feeling to a thought, to an end goal. I say going to, let me see, a happy place for me would be, say, just for an example, going to the beach. But so I relate the beach with a good thought, with a good feeling and stuff. And when I get to the beach, it's not a good feeling. I witnessed something else, and my whole happy place, which I always thought was good, that I always related to it as being good, with a good feeling, and I go to the beach and I witness a murder or whatever. I see someone drown, or a shark bite someone, who knows, some tragedy. So now I just totally I totally messed up my bad. I almost cursed. But I totally messed up my whole thought of beach being a really nice place. Now I'm in total confusion of what the beach should actually be. I'm gonna have two different thoughts about the beach. When instead I should just see the beach as a beach, instead of putting a happy feeling to the beach, relating the beach with happy, I should just think about it's just the beach. You know, that way whenever I see something bad, I don't mess up my whole idea of the beach being nice or a happy place for me. So I think that line was pretty interesting, and the other line of Tole was enlightenment, pretty much saying that we need to stop chasing enlightenment or seeking enlightenment in different places when enlightenment is within us. Eugene also said, and now back to Eugene. Eugene wrote, UG, he also said that that like when you buy a book to reach enlightenment, of like steps to reach enlightenment because someone wrote it, you're never gonna get what's worth what you paid for, because you're not gonna reach enlightenment that way by following a few steps. Because enlightenment comes within. Is not something you can read or or something you should or something that someone else wrote about enlightenment, because enlightenment is within. So I thought that was pretty interesting, and Tole said something along those lines too, that that enlightenment is within us, and we need to stop chasing that dream because it is in us already. We are perfect already. So I thought that was very, very interesting. Another thing that was interesting was about the religion. Everything we talked about religion, the ways Mr. Sears explained religion was pretty interesting. The whole metaphysics about how well, the whole metaphysics is just interesting. We need to stop thinking about scientific ways to prove things and just accept the fact that there's some things that we will never explain. We will never have a like a true explanation to things. But that doesn't mean we can't. Believe it's possible, just because science hasn't proved it. So that was very interesting. The whole ethics thing was interesting too, debating about when we had that debate about doing research on monkeys and stuff. That was pretty interesting. I think we should be able to do research on monkeys, but as long as it's not harmful or we're mistreating them. But the way they explain it to them is just like, they do more harm to each other just playing around than what the studies are doing. So, and it can, who knows, it might lead to discovery of a new drug or for hepatitis, or I don't know what they were testing for, but it can be a medical breakthrough. So I think it's good. I just talked about ethics. The 4 theories of truth. I'm not too sure there was 4, or there might be more. But the theories of truth, that's very interesting. The fallacies, I feel that I can win arguments now. I just straight up call bullshit on stuff. I'm like, nope, you ain't got nothing to back that thing up with. So that was very interesting. The class was pretty fast paced because it was 5 weeks, but I think in 5 weeks I learned a lot, and it changed my view of things just a little bit. Not too crazy, because I always viewed the world pretty different than a lot of my friends. So I think philosophy class is good for me. I don't say much in class because sometimes you guys move too quick, and I have a hard time registering what you guys are saying, because you guys are going through different topics really quick, and when I finally have something to say, you guys switch the subject, and I'm like, shit, I'm slow. But that again has to do with my TBI stuff. So and sometimes I zone off and then I come back. But for the most part, I did learn a lot. But when I mean like zoning off, I was zoning off in like some philosophical stuff. So it was pretty interesting. I think this video is getting too long already, so I'm gonna cut it short. But there was another thing I wanted to say that I totally forgot what I wanted to say. That was the main reason why I made this video. But man, what was it? The bottom line is I did learn a lot, and I'm gonna look for more philosophy classes and enroll in them because it's very interesting. And I wish to learn a little bit more because I know it was only 5 weeks, but we covered a lot. But I feel like there's a whole lot more that I want to know about, especially about metaphysics. So I'll be enrolling in more philosophy classes. And thank you, sir, for all your knowledge and the class. Thank you, guys.